What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, back with another exclusive interview right here on our YouTube channel. And of course, man, we have went through almost the entire Jacksonville State roster. We had to get this guy on. Our guy PJ Wells said he is the toughest DB that he has faced in his career thus far. We had to get our guy Marco Baker, the next future great DB out of Jacksonville State. So, Marco, appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. I appreciate the invite, for real.
Absolutely. So the first question off the bat, I got to get it. We had PJ Wells on here. And we asked him, out of all the great Jacksonville State DBs he's faced, who's the toughest? He said you were the toughest. So for you, on the flip side, who's the toughest Jacksonville State wide receiver that you've ever had to face in your career thus far?
Out of that receiving core that we got at Jacksonville State, because we got a lot of good receivers. PJ, he's one of the top guys. I say PJ, and we had one of our receivers get injured, Dave Russell. So I say PJ and Dave and Ahmad. Those are my top three. Because
Man,
with PJ, he's long, he's physical, and then with Ahmad, he's shifty, he's quick, and then Dave, he kind of got like both of like the attributes I just listed. So those top three are the hardest receivers I go against on a daily basis.
Oh, man, I like it. I like it. But let's shift to your recruitment, man. Going back out of high school, coming out of, small town Mississippi, and for you playing wide receiver, who was on you the hardest? And were you solely recruited as a wide receiver, or were a lot of schools asking you to switch to defensive back like you ultimately did at Jacksonville State?
Coming out of high school, just a little backstory. My junior year, I only had one offer, and that was from Hines Community College. That's a community college down the street. They were recruiting me to play safety, and then after my senior year, that's when like my recruitment started to open up. I had got offers from Jackson State, Mississippi Valley, East Mississippi, Colin, Hines, like I stated, and that's pretty much about it. And out of all those, Jackson State wanted me to play receiver. Mississippi Valley wanted me to play receiver. The only people that really wanted me to play defense was Hines and Jacksonville State. Oh, and I had an offer from UCA and Austin P. But they wanted me to play receiver. And so what was really big to me on my recruiting process was my coach. I was getting recruited by Coach Owen Kilgore. And I remember he had hit me up in the DMs. He basically said, they're going to offer me. And I didn't have a clue what Jacksonville State was. And I remember, like, in about a week or two, because, from Mississippi to Jacksonville, it's like a 5-hour drive. He had drove down here by himself, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was raining this day, too. So he came down, he talked to me, and I was just like, I like him. Like, I like the coach. Like, I like him as a person. I like him as a coach just based off how he presented himself. And so I remember just thinking, like, a lot of people going to question why I'm choosing to go to Jacksonville State to play DB when my whole life I've been offense. And so my signing day, as I went on my official visit down there, I loved it. And like I said, the way Coach Kilgore presented how he's going to teach me how to play DB, I just fell in love instantly. And so after the visit, I knew I was going there. And so I committed like right after the visit. And I remember people asking me, they're like, you going to Jacksonville State play DB? I was like, yeah. And they're like, why? I was like, I don't know, it's just something different. Like, I feel like Coach Kilgore seen something I didn't see myself yet. So looking back on it, I think I made the right choice.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So for you, what were the biggest or toughest challenges you faced in switching positions? And on the flip side, do you think playing wide receiver for so long helps you be a better defensive back?
I feel like the hardest challenge I faced was just like understanding the fundamentals and how to play defense. Coming in, I came in, it was three corners. It was me, Mark Jemison, and Yasmin Green, and we clicked like instantly. And so I remember just those first few months down there, me, him, and Yasmin, we were just down there working, trying to get the fundamentals down. Because like both of us, we all play receiver in high school, so we're all understanding what we're going through, like trying to make a transition. And so I'd say the hardest thing was just getting the fundamentals, the footwork, and like comprehending what it's like to be like being on the defensive side of the ball. Because like on offense, you're just trying to score, whereas when you're on defense, it's a whole different ball game. You're trying to, and then especially if you on defense, when you're a DB, you're trying to not let this guy catch the ball. So you're trying to go through progressions and realize like, hey, basically just stop him from catching the ball. So I feel like the biggest challenge was shifting mindsets for real, from offense to defense.
Oh man, I
And
like.
what was your question? What was the question after that?
Oh, did playing wide receiver for so long help you become a better defensive back?
Uh, I feel like making the transition from receiver to DB, I feel like it helped me like knowing like what a receiver's trying to get me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if he goes one way, he comes back. Like I'm preparing for it because I know what it's like to be a receiver, and I feel like I know what it's like to try and get open. So I feel like I know what to expect at times. You know, not all the time, but sometimes.
Right. And I mean, this year, man, it was a tough year for Jacksonville State. A mid-season head coaching change, bringing in Rich Rodriguez at the end of the season. But just for you as a player, can you speak on how tough this coaching change was on you personally and as the team as a whole midway through the season?
Personally, because like you said, the season didn't go how we wanted it to go, obviously. And with that being said, we're gonna look back, we're gonna reflect, and we're gonna get better coming into the season next fall 22. But with the coaching change that was going on, it was unexpected. We came in, found out about Coach Ross, and everybody was just like we were shook, we were baffled. You know what I'm saying? And then you remember Coach Sherman? He was the interim head coach for the last 2 games, and so he really wanted us to emphasize on finishing the season strong. And so that's what we did, you know what I'm saying? We got the win. I can't remember who we played the second to last game. I can't remember, but we played them. We got the win. We went to EKU. We fought hard. The outcome wasn't what we wanted, but at the end of the day, we know we fought and gave it everything we had. So I feel like just during the coaching change, we just knew we had to finish the season. We had to finish what we started and finish, not just give up. Mostly you would think most of the guys after the coaching change was going on, you would have people not going to weights, not going to practice, but you had guys still buying in, still committed to the football team. And that's what I really like to see. And once we got on the EKU game, there was a lot of uncertainty on the team, a lot of uncertainty just down there. And so we were just keeping an open mind to anything. This as a team, we were just keeping an open mind to anything that could happen. Because we didn't know anything. We know what's gonna happen. We were just waiting to find out the news. So then once we found out about Richard Rodriguez, it was a lot of positivity, a lot of positive feedback. Everybody was happy. Everybody was like, whoa, that's major, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? And, he came in, talked to us, he introduced himself, and I feel like everybody bought into what he was saying. And as far as the coaching staff goes, I haven't met everybody on the coaching staff, but I know I've met Coach Rodriguez, the running backs coach, and just based off talking to the running backs coach, I feel like it's gonna be a change. It's gonna be a different outcome coming into the fall 22. I feel like the shift and the focus and the mindset is gonna change and prepare us to elevate to the level that we need to be at to succeed. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah, man. I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on Jacksonville State going into next year. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to shock the world. And speaking of shocking the world, man, we had to bring this game up when you came on the show. Walk me through that Florida State win, your emotions, and how big it was for you guys as a program.
Going into that game, what I'm saying, it was a very hostile environment. I remember it was raining pregame. And then we go out, the stadium's full, they talking noise, the fans talking noise, and we going into the game, we just because last year we came close, we just came up short, so we can beat them, we know. So going into this game, we just knew we got to bounce back from UAB because we had a loss the previous week, so we just we got to beat these guys, they beatable. At the end of the day, it's football. Regardless of what the program, who you playing, is football. So going to the game, everybody locked in. We all had we all locked in, focused on one accord. And so I feel like going to the game, it started off good. I think we got them off the field. I can't remember exactly how the game was going, but it was everybody had belief that we can win. And so I remember coming out of halftime. I think the score was 3-14 or something like that, and just or 7-14, something like that. I just remember everybody in the locker room saying we can do this, we got to lock in, we just got to minimize the mistakes that we're making and just play ball. And so I just remember in the last play, we had got a big 4th down stop and it was 4th and 2. So that was big. And then we had got that stop on the goal line when they were from the score, they were on the brink of scoring. I remember linebacker Tate Tullis, he made one heck of a play and it just turned us up and offense had to go score. So I remember just I think we're on the 50, we were middle field. And I was just like, everybody's like holding their breath, just watching. He threw the ball, good catch by DJ, and everybody's like, at first I was looking at the clock. And then when I seen he hit 0, I said, he got to score. Because at first I was like, get out. Then I seen him, and then he cut back, and I was like, no way. And then it's like, when he scored, it's like all the life in the stadium. Like, they just left. Because, like, everybody was shook. Like, they were talking noise. I thought the game was over. And everybody on our sideline, we're like, bro, it's going to take a miracle. You know, good pass by Crew, great catch by DJ. And then once he scored, it was crazy. It felt crazy, man. You know, we were trending on Twitter. The fans were going crazy. They were reposting. It was a good moment for the state, for the program. And I feel like that win really it solidified us, like, our program in history, because, like, that's a moment nobody's ever going to forget. And we just going to, although we want to look back on the wins and the losses that we took in 2021, we just going to know, like, we got potential, basically. You know, going to the fall 2022, like, we got potential.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a big FBS win. And speaking of that, Jacksonville State on the move to FBS in the coming years. What are your thoughts on that? And how excited are you to move up to that next level?
I'm excited for the talent, but at the same time, I'm really excited for the exposure that the team's going to get. Because, you know, making the transition from FCS to FBS is major. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a difference in, like, the competition, FCS and FBS, but at the same time, like I said, it's football. And so making that transition from FCS to FBS, it's gonna be a challenge, but at the same time, it's gonna take everybody, all the guys on the roster. We're gonna have to lock in and challenge ourselves to get better and, like, really truly elevate. And I feel like it's gonna take a lot of self-reflection. We're gonna look in the mirror, see what we did wrong in the past. We're ready to fix that so we can be successful in the future, you know.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've noticed a trend at Jacksonville State is freshman, sophomore, young players making an impact early. We saw Nicario make an impact his freshman and sophomore year. PJ this year as a freshman, you starting both freshman years, because the spring you also started as a freshman. I mean, the tight end this year, All-American freshman. What is the key at Jacksonville State? How are the young guys so ready to play so early and often?
You know, coming in, like, they come in hungry. Well, we come in hungry. We come in, like, determined. Like, coming in, we don't have a mindset of laying down and waiting. Like, yes, you want to wait your turn, because, you know, like, you have a lot of people that come in, not speaking like Jacksonville State, but just in general, you have a lot of people that come in when they don't get the successes they want instantly. Like, the energy, instead of turning the energy and using it as fuel, they turn it to negativity, and they just be pessimistic. Whereas when we come in, we're determined, we're hungry to be successful. And at the end of the day, we know, like, when Coach Garcia, he always said, you never know when your number's called. And so you just got to prepare yourself to be in a successful position when the time comes. So when we come in, we're hungry, we're determined, and we know what we want. Like, we know what we want out of ourselves. And, you know, after practice, you would catch, like you said, PJ Wells. You would catch PJ Wells out there running routes on air with Coop, getting timing down, catching down, you know what I'm saying? You'll have me, Jamar, Yasmin, Deco. We'll be out freshmen. We out there trying to perfect our craft, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's really us taking that extra step, going that extra mile, doing the things that not seen, you know? Like, we'll stay, like I said, we'll stay after practice. I remember at one point, me and PJ, we're just doing releases. I'll just do a release. I want to run with him. We just doing releases, trying to get each other better. He put me on game. He's like, Marco, you doing this, you doing that. I'll be like, all right, PJ, you doing this, you doing that. And so it's like, it's a selfless type of team, like, freshman that we got, because we just want to be better. Like, we all want to win. We all want to be successful. So I feel like we aren't, like, iron sharpens iron. And so I feel like you said, at practice, me and PJ, we going at it. You know what I'm saying? We don't take practice lightly. Whenever he line up against me and I line up against him, we know we're going to get the best of each other. And so I feel like that's what prepared us to be successful this season.
Absolutely. And I mean, kind of building off of that, the one thing you notice on social media, if you pay close attention, especially as someone who covers the FCS, is that Jacksonville State players are closer than a lot of other teams. I mean, even the players who transfer, like a Jacquez Payton, a Darius Joyner, all these guys, you guys are always retweeting each other, giving each other praise on social media, always staying connected. Can you kind of speak on what the culture is like around the locker room and inside the program? How are you guys so close? And even when you guys go your separate ways, you guys still stay in touch and seem to really support each other.
I feel like it's really the connections and the bonds and the memories you make. Because like I remember, like I said, coming in, you said Jack was Payton. Coming in, I remember going to the corner room. You know what I'm saying? I was nervous. I didn't have the confidence that I needed, and going into it, I remember him. He just telling me like, "Hey man, like you got to realize what you got. Like you long, you got abilities that you can use." And I just remember when I was down on myself, he picked me up. Darius Joyner. Uh, I feel like he believed in me before anybody else did. Cause like, how I said, staying after practice, like this is my like true freshman year, like fall 2020. Yeah, fall 2020 going in. No, fall 2021. So going into it, I just remember like I didn't have the confidence that I needed, and like he was basically like he slowed the game down. He slowed it down. He sat me down. He talked to me. He was like, Marco, look, like it ain't hard. You do this, you do that, like just patience. And he emphasized how simple the game was. Like football is simple, but we as players make it complex. And like when we have away games, we'll bring our sometimes we bring our game system and we'll play the game. I feel like those are bonding moments, you know what I'm saying? I'll be playing against Bug, I'll be playing with Darius Joyner, like, I feel like we built connections that will last forever. Although they're not with our program anymore, I feel like we as brothers, we as teammates, wish nothing but the best for them. Like, you got guys on the team, yeah, we keep up with them, like, yeah, we hate to see him leave, but we don't wish on him. Like, personally, I don't wish on his downfall. I want him to be successful. Bug, I want him to be great. Darius, I want him to be great. Jemiah Presley, I want him to be successful, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's at Jacksonville State, Prairie View, Alabama State, Western Illinois, wherever, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like, it's just a brotherhood that's built through activities that we did together, So it ain't no bad blood, you feel me?
Oh man, no, I love to see it. And I've talked to people off camera about it, and I think it's you guys might be one of the tightest teams that I think I've seen at any level of football that I've covered, just in terms of engagement, interaction, and things like that. But man, to get to know you a bit better as how you see yourself as a DB, what NFL defensive back do you model your game after the most?
Uh, I would say just based off like how I'm built and my attributes, I say I'm out of my game after two corners, Jalen Ramsey and J.C. Horn, because I like J.C. Horn's physicality and how physical he is as a DB, and the same with Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? I just watch their highlights because like at times you gonna find like when I'm in my dorm room, I'm chilling with Jamar, that's my roommate. We be chilling and we watching DB highlights. We watching Jalen Ramsey, J.C. Horn, AJ Terrell. We just be watching various DBs to get not skills, but like techniques that they're using and apply to our game. So I just feel like just out of those DBs I can think of, those two just stick out to me because just based off the similarities that we have.
Oh man, anything you can model after Jalen Ramsey, that guy's on a whole different planet in terms of defensive back skills, in terms, like you said, speed, physicality, just the mindset of a DB. But man, looking at a wide receiver matchup each week, what is the number one mistake a wide receiver can make against you if you guys are one-on-one?
Personally speaking, I'm a physical corner, and I like to get hands on. So I feel like if you let me get my hands on you, like that's when I know I got you. Because like I said, I'm a physical corner, and like people like to say I grab, but at the same time, Coach Kilgore used to teach us if you push, I pull. Because you know what I'm saying. A lot of times you're gonna catch a DB. If a receiver push me and I just let him push me, I don't pull or nothing. I don't get no resistance. That's an easy catch. Whereas if he pushed me and I pull, it's a controversial call. Like the ref might call it, he might not. I've been on both ends of the six where the refs called it, he hasn't called it. But just going back and looking back on this year, whenever I got my hands on a receiver, that's when I was most successful.
Oh man, I like it. And so looking at I know each player is different. What is your pregame routine, or do you have one? I know some players say they don't like to have a pregame routine, others do. What is your pregame routine?
Usually what I like to do is we get on the bus, I put my headphones in, listen to I got a Gameday playlist. I want to listen to on Gameday. So I put that in, started playing, and then usually I start to look because I look back at the film previous times in the game, and I go back and look at what I did wrong, what I did right, and so going into it, I just be going like thinking to myself, okay, first step, technique, eyes, because as a DB you gotta have good technique, good eyes, good feet, Because, wherever your eyes are, that's where your feet gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, going into the locker room, music, looking back, reflecting, and I always like to thank God before I go out because without Him, I wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? And I always be like, regardless of the outcome, thanks for letting me be here. And I say basically, I hope there's no injuries on both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happens, the outcome, no injuries on both sides of the ball, and I like to text my family. I'll be like, I love y'all before I go out, and this about it for real.
Oh man, I like it. So you play at Jacksonville State. You're a DB. I got to feel that I know the answer to this question because we've had Nicario on here, we've had Jaquez on here, notorious trash talkers. PJ says that you guys let them hear it all practice long. So how big of a trash talker are you during game days?
When it comes to trash talking, I'm like one of those guys that's I don't talk too much unless I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like during the game. If in the start of the game, I'm very reserved. Like I'm playing football. Like my goal is not like when I'm going out. My goal is not to trash talk. My goal is to make sure you don't catch the ball. You don't do nothing. Like you know what I'm saying. Just do my job. And then if I feel provoked or I feel like you think you got one on me, then I start talking noise. And then once I get started, it's harder for me to get stopped because it's like it's in me, but I don't want to bring it out of me unless you provoke me. And so I feel like I trash talk about 50% of the game. Like the first half, I might not trash talk, but as the game get going, I get warmed up. Yeah, then I start. You know how it goes.
Hey, I like it, man. I like it. So I got to ask, and I think I know your answer on this one too. Who is the biggest trash talker on Jacksonville State's defense?
Without a doubt, two of them. Three. Three-headed goats. Nicario Harper, DJ Coleman, and Markel Bennett. No cap.
Man, I've gotten Nicario every time I've asked someone that. Anyone who's played against him says that dude will be in your ear from the time the ball snaps to the time that clock hits zero.
All game. You gotta love it though. You gotta love it. You're passionate about the game.
Absolutely. And so you've mentioned the DB room. I mean, let's be honest. Of Jaquez, Darius, Nicario, yourself, all of you guys have had major success. How competitive is practice each day in the DB room?
It's competitive, man. Cause like I said, with Coach Kilgore, when you go in, he wants you to give 110% every day, and he can pick up if you're not. But at the same time, he's very trying to look for the word. He's very assertive and attentive to like how you feeling, like because some days we'll be beat up. Like I remember one practice, I ended up having like 100. Like I ended up having like 60 plus snaps in practice because like we're down to like 3 DBs. You know what I'm saying? And so when the practice we competitive, we don't like losing. None of the DBs are cool with losing. We don't like it. Like we lose. Like at one point, it got to the point to where if I lost a rep, I'll get mad at myself. I was like, man, what? And then like I said, when my teammates come up, man, Marco, come on, bro, lock in. Like, don't beat yourself up. Just get better. And like every time we go out at practice, we're trying to win a rep. I feel like we all as a cornering, we all got that mindset not to lose. Like we don't like losing reps. And so every time we go out there, we push for perfection, regardless of what we're doing. And if we lacking or we not going 110%, one of us gonna call each other out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold each other accountable. So it's very competitive.
I like that. So looking way ahead to 2022, man, what are your personal goals for the 2022 season?
All right. Going to the 2022 season, personally, because I think, if I'm right, I think we can't, because we're making that transition from FCS to FBS. I think we can't go to playoffs. So really, my only goal is be All-American and do everything I can to make sure the team is successful. You know what I'm saying? Don't make no selfish plays. Don't do nothing that can hurt the team in a negative way. So my only goal for 2022, do my job. And I feel like me just doing my job and just doing my job, I'll be able to accomplish being All-American. You know what I'm saying? So, because I had goals and aspirations for doing it this year, but I just didn't have enough productivity. So going to 2022, I'm hungry to be successful and just improve my game because I wasn't satisfied with what happened this past season. So yeah, personal goal is All-American.
Oh man, I like the goal, but these last few questions to end it up, man, were actually submitted by our members on our YouTube channel. I told them you were coming on, and they had some questions for you themselves. So first off, this is a common question for all our FCS guys: is do you think the FCS should create a bowl system for the outside of the FCS playoffs for teams who don't make the final 24 teams?
Uh, I think so. Because it's like, like I said, it's not that it's a difference between FBS and FCS, but at the same time, it's still football. And I feel like FCS teams should be granted the same opportunities that the FBS team is granted. And so, yeah, I feel like FCS doesn't get enough recognition, and them adding bowl games will help get us more exposure, more film. So, yeah, I think so.
Oh man, I like it. And so, which FCS opponent in the ASUN is your favorite to play? You would say, or you get just a little bit more hype for that game.
Just based off this year, I would say my favorite opponent ever played was UCA. Cause I actually have like a best friend that plays with him. He tackle him, Justin Larry. So going to that game that week, he had hit me up. He was like, "Man, good luck, bro." I was like, "Man, appreciate it." They got two good receivers on the outside.
Hmm.
Can't think of their name. Number 5 and number 1.
Yeah, Tyler Hudson's number one. I know for sure. And then I'm blanking on the other guy's name, but Tyler Hudson's the number one.
Yeah, so going to the game, like I knew they were gonna throw the ball, so like they're like a pass every team. So as a DB, you get excited when you know you're gonna go against a pass every team because they give you a lot of opportunities to make plays. So that's my favorite team, UCA going against. He's going against an A-Sun.
I like it. And so if you got to pick, I know you're not the AD, but if you got to pick one FCS team to play outside of the ASUN before moving to the FBS, who would it be?
Let me think. I'll probably say just one of the top teams in FCS because I can't. It's so many of them. Like like the James Madisons, the North Dakota States, the South Dakota, like one of those teams just to see where we match up at. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're supposed to be like the big dogs of the FCS. So just play them to see what we match up with for real. So yeah, 'cause,
Oh man,
we played St. Houston this year. You know what I'm saying? We started off strong, but then as the game wore on, we got fatigued and stuff. So I feel like we didn't get fatigued and we like more in shape going to the game. The outcome would be different. So yeah, and that was like no more team. So
yeah, no,
like
I would love to see that matchup. North Dakota State versus Jacksonville State one last time. I would love to see it. So you guys are moving to the CUSA, man. Is there a team in the conference that you're just like, I cannot wait to play that team?
I don't have a specific team. I'd say I'm just trying to play all of them honestly, because you know what I'm saying. Just making that transition from SCS to FBS. Every team we play, they're gonna give us. I mean, just like in FCS, they're gonna give us the best they got, and it's gonna be like a new challenge. It's gonna be like fresh. Like any team we play going into the Conference USA, we ain't played before. So like every game gonna feel like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's a new team, new tendencies, new players you ain't never interacted with before. So it's gonna be exciting. And then getting a chance to play on national television. So looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Oh man, I like it. So the last question here, man, is there what game this season do you wish you could play one more time? You guys were that close, or it was such a great matchup. Which game would you want to play one more time?
Uh, do I have to just say one?
Yeah.
Uh, I'll probably say out of all the games we played, the one game I wish we could have back would probably be um probably be UCA. Probably UCA. Cause like the way the game ended versus how it was played throughout the whole game. Cause a lot of times the score doesn't show how the game was truly played. You just see a score. I feel like that game we just let slip from us. You know what I'm saying? Just from mistakes that we made on both sides of the ball. And I just remember cause we win that game, then we went out We beat EKU at the no. Actually, I take it back. EKU. I take it back. EKU. Simply because the game was a double overtime thriller, and we had them up. Like we were up on them with like a minute some left in the fourth quarter. We up, and they had to drive the whole field. That's one game I wish we could have back. Just although we would have made the playoffs, I feel like it would have been a big win for our program, ending the season off right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that was one heck of a game, too. I remember watching that game. That was one probably the best FCS games of the year this season. But, man, Marco, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, giving me some of your time, even though I know we're in the midst of the holidays. But this is all about promoting the players, supporting the players. So drop your social, drop where any NIL companies can contact you and give any shout outs, man. This moment is yours just to plug or say anything you want to say, man.
First of all, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me, inviting me. You know what I'm saying? And my socials are my name, Marco Baker II, like MARCO.Baker. You know what I'm saying, for the second. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a junior. So yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. For real.
Oh man, anytime you want to come back on, man, you're welcome. Just hit me up. We'll definitely be staying in touch, and I'll definitely be rooting you guys on this year. I'm from Alabama, so I got a big soft spot for Jacksonville State. I was there as an Auburn student when Jacksonville State almost ruined my first ever game as a student by almost beating Auburn in overtime. That was my first, kind of big exposure. But, man, I appreciate you guys. Make sure to go follow Marco on every social media platform. The bigger he gets a social, the better it is for his NIL deals and things like that. And, of course, man, make sure to check us out on YouTube and any and all podcast streaming platforms. But, guys, for Marco and for the Blue Bloods, we are out for right now.